All right, man. What's going on, guys? It's Randall Branch. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. I meant to get this video out yesterday on Thursday, but I've been busy. And I know that's not an excuse because I'm a man of my word. I said I was going to get this video out yesterday, so I should have got this video out yesterday. But today is Friday, and I'm going to record this for a few minutes and get this out. Somebody asked me to do a video on self-love, so that's what I'm going to talk about today. And if you guys have video topics that you guys want me to touch on or questions, maybe I could do a Q&A if I get enough questions. You guys can send questions or anything, need help with anything, just fitness, business, personal growth related. RandallBranchBusiness@gmail.com. You can also hit me up on Snapchat, Randall2Branch, Instagram, Randall Branch. I like helping people, especially people who want to help themselves. So always here for you guys, man. But self-love. This lady asked me if I could do a video on self-love, and honestly, I might have to do a couple videos on self-love because self-love is everything. Self-love is prioritization. Excuse me. Self-love is life, man. Like, there is no life without self-love. I didn't do a script for this video because I just wanted to see what was going to be on my heart, like when I put the camera up. So I'm just going to talk from the heart. I didn't script out this video. She asked me on Tuesday, right after I posted my video, because this week, I usually post Monday, Thursday, so this week is Tuesday, Friday videos. So Tuesday, right after I posted my video, and Tuesday was a September recap, she asked me, so I was like, okay, that's going to be the next video. And then next Monday is going to be episode 9 of Single Digits, so a lot of videos lined up, but yeah, she asked me, so I was like, I'm not even gonna think about what I want to talk about. And obviously when she asked me, things start popping up, but I was like, we're just gonna wait till, I start recording and see what comes up. So obviously, man, I'm gonna start off by saying self-love is prioritization. A lot of us, we don't prioritize ourselves. We prioritize our girlfriend, or if you're a lady, you prioritize your boyfriend, which, I think that's okay, but I'll keep it on point. But, we prioritize other people. We prioritize our parents and what they want. We prioritize our friends. We prioritize society. And prioritization means just valuing, like in that sense, it would be just valuing society's notion or society's perception of us, or what society wants from us instead of what we want from us. Or like when I say like our parents, we prioritize what our parents want from us instead of what we want for ourselves. So first of all, to start off with self-love, it means we need to prioritize ourselves. What do you want? I always talk about authenticity. Figure out what you want and make sure that you're doing it daily. So like I could use this right now, for example. I have a homework assignment that's due tonight. And, I never really talked about this on the channel, but I almost dropped out of school last year. This is my last year of college. I almost dropped out last year, and it's because I realized that I wasn't prioritizing myself. I was not skipping workouts, but I was like, maybe I need to rush this workout to do some homework, or maybe I can't upload. When I started my YouTube, I can't work on content the way I want to work on it today because I have homework due today, even though I know that this is what I want to be doing. So I was putting like school before like my purpose, which is fitness and business. And I told myself, I'll finish school. I told my mom, I'm gonna finish school, but I'm not putting school over fitness or business. I'm not doing that. That's self-love. That's prioritization. That's me knowing what I need to get done. And even though my parents are on me about school, and even though friends are always asking me how school is going, I understand that while I am finishing school this year, I understand that fitness and business comes first. And I don't care who I'm talking to, parents, teachers, whatever. School is not the main priority for me right now. No, it's not. I don't care. Fitness and business. That's what I know I'm supposed to be doing with my life. That's what I'm doing. That's self-love, man. It doesn't get more self-love than that. Self-prioritization, right? We talk about stuff like fitness and business. I can talk about specifically. Let's talk about fitness. A lot of people, they don't prioritize their fitness. If you're not prioritizing your fitness, you don't love yourself. Just straight up. This is my opinion, man. If you don't prioritize your fitness, your health, if you decide that your health needs to be on the back burner to be able to make more money, to provide for your family or whatever, you're not prioritizing yourself. Now, although some people do have people that are depending on them, like kids and parents and girlfriends or boyfriends, they get the best version of you when you prioritize yourself. Prioritizing yourself doesn't mean that if you, like, let's say like you have kids, doesn't mean that you need all 16 hours of your waking day and you neglect your kids. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you prioritize yourself because you know that you being in the best version of yourself, whether it be health, whether it be with wealth, whatever it may be, your kids will be able to get the best version of you if you prioritize yourself. And that's what a lot of people forget. A lot of people they don't want to prioritize themselves because they're looking externally to what they need to do to help others. Oh, I can't prioritize myself. I can't start my business because, I'm working for my mom and my mom's business and she really needs help. Or I can't do this. I can't work out because my girlfriend really likes to spend time with me, and I'm a loser if I spend less time with her and start working out 4 or 5 days a week. That's me taking time away from her. Not realizing that when we prioritize ourselves, especially as men, but a lady asked me this question, but especially as men, when we prioritize ourselves, everybody in our life benefits, right? So self-love, self-prioritization is number one. Number two with self-love is understanding how do I want to say this? Understanding the internal things that, like when I talk about self-sabotaging, like understanding like the internal roadblocks that we cause ourselves to stumble on. I think that's something that pertains to the topic of self-love. So like for me personally, I believe that a lot of things that we struggle with in life, we struggle with because we put upon ourselves, not necessarily external factors, but it's us causing stuff because it's internal, whether it be confidence issues, whether it be, everybody talks about, what's that phrase they talk about? Imposter syndrome, not feeling like they're worthy of the attention that they're getting or the notoriety that they're getting, whatever it may be. Confidence, imposter syndrome, whether it be just any type of self-sabotaging issues. Obviously, that stems from a lack of self-love and understanding that if we do love ourselves properly and we do value ourselves properly, our confidence is going to be where it needs to be. We won't be having, the imposter syndrome. I don't know why I'm blanking on that, the imposter syndrome that everybody talks about. I don't have imposter syndrome when I talk about fitness or when I talk about business or when I talk about personal growth. And it's because, number one, I'm actually in these fields and I'm actually just documenting what I'm going through and I'm not making up stories. But number two is because I love myself. I understand my value. I understand that I have my input and what I could bring to society is valuable. I love what I talk about and I value myself. I value who Randall Branch is. So there is no lack of confidence. There is no imposter syndrome getting on here and talking about YouTube stuff on YouTube. Even though I'm 22, I'm young. Somebody might be like 30, 40, be looking at me like, bro, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't act like I have everything figured out, but I love myself and I love my journey and I love my processes and I love the way I think. That's all self-love, man. So there's no imposter syndrome. There's no lack of confidence when I get on here and I talk to you guys about what I'm going through, what I've gone through, and what I'm thinking about and the way I view life and, helping you guys out even at a young age. This person, they didn't really delve too much into like what exactly they wanted me to talk about. But one thing I will say is that the majority, I want to say like 97% of people, they lack self-love. And even with self-love, there's levels of self-love. Like I said, like you can't be out of shape and love yourself. And if you do love yourself, you don't love yourself as much as you think you do. And that's a fact. My level of self-love now, me being in the best shape of my life, is way different than the self-love I have for myself at 250. There's no question about it. Now, was I suicidal? Was I in depression? Of course not. I wasn't. But my self-love definitely is higher now, and it doesn't even need to be said. You could tell by looking at me, right? Self-love, self-prioritization. You could tell I take care of myself way better now. That's self-love, right? The fact that most people in our society are out of shape already shows that there's a lack of self-love. The fact that most people in society, not most, but a lot of people in society, you ask them how you're doing, or at least and they say stuff like, well, at least I'm alive, or it's just another day. Lack of self-love, man. Like there's no appreciation for life and what life has to offer, and for genuinely like being happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. So I do believe most people in our society do lack self-love, and it really is sad. But one thing I will say is the best thing you could do for yourself, and I was just talking to my friend about this a couple days ago, is really curate your environment. And I'm always going to talk about this on my channel until I'm 80, 90 years old, because nothing's more important than your environment. One of the reasons specifically why I told myself I was never going to work for nobody, number one, is because obviously I believe I have what it takes to provide value to society, and I like what I'm doing with my clothing line and my fragrance and fitness and stuff like that. Like I'm not gonna give you 8 hours of my life when I could be doing something else, and also I could tie my money to creativity instead of time, which makes way more sense. But that's one other topic. But number two, it's because you can't curate your environment. Like when you have a lot going on in here, man, and you're actually focused. You're not just an NPC walking around. Like you got a lot of thoughts, and you have, like I said, you got processes, and you view life in a certain way. It's dangerous just to be around random people. It really is. So like I just said, the example I spoke upon like a couple minutes ago. Like when you go to work and you ask people how their day is going, and they're talking about, oh, at least I'm alive, and they're just gossiping about foolishness and stuff, and everybody's out of shape and fat and broke and lazy. Like that's just a bad environment to be around. So that's another reason why I was like, yeah, I'm not just going, like, I got too much going on to just be put up around random people. That's not for me. And obviously when you work for somebody else, you can't really curate your environment. Maybe once you climb up like certain ladders, but especially at like entry level jobs, you're not curating who you work with and stuff like that. Like it's dangerous just to be around random people when you got stuff going on, in my opinion, right? So that's something that showed me like people being out of shape, and like just the way people think about certain stuff, and like just people's responses to certain questions that you would ask them. And also without even talking, just looking at people, you can tell a lot of people lack self-love. So one of the best things you could do is be around other people who do love themselves, right? One thing me and my friend were talking about is like, I don't have a lot of friends because I believe a lot of people do not love themselves. A lot of people are self-sabotaging. A lot of people aren't taking life seriously. A lot of people aren't taking their health serious. They're not taking their relationships with themselves or with other people or with their parents or whatever it may be. They don't take nothing seriously. And that shows a lack of self-love. And in order for me to be around those people, that means I need to have a lack of self-love too, which I don't. So because I love myself, I need to surround myself with other people who love themselves. And if I can't find other people who love themselves in my near vicinity, then I need to be by myself and protect myself, right? So self-love is protection, self-love is prioritization, self-love is peace, all that, all those P's, that's what self-love is. And self-love is important, man. You'll get farther in life when you love yourself. And self-love is if you love yourself, other people will treat you better as well. Because, a lot of people, they feel like people are like super, and like people are mean. People are super mean. But a lot of people, they treat people who treat themselves better. And everything, like it goes back to being in shape. And I'm doing my best not to keep on going that way, but literally, like, we could talk about it real quick. Like, if you see somebody who's out of shape, like, and this isn't even like something where I'm calling out individuals, just subconsciously, people treat people who are in shape better than they treat people who aren't in shape. It's just subconscious. Even like attractiveness, people treat people who are more attractive better than people who aren't attractive, just subconsciously, not even on purpose, but just as humans. So I don't know how I got there, but so like with self-love is like taking care of yourself, being around people who prioritize their self-love and stuff like that, and it's all kind of like interconnected, and like understanding that, hey, I'm not around a lot of people who are acting in alliance with self-love, so I need to be by myself and stuff like that. And also understanding, this is what I was talking about, also understanding that when I love myself, other people treat me better because they see the way I treat myself, right? So that's where it was. But yeah, that's the video for today, man. I know I kind of talked a lot. This wasn't really a script. I'm just kind of freestyling, going off of what I'm thinking about, because I do want this to be very genuine and stuff like that. I hope the girl who's watching this video, I hope she got some value from this. I'm gonna send this video to her directly because, I don't know if you're going through something. I didn't ask you if you were going through something. I just said, cool, I'll make the video. But I do appreciate you for even believing that I had some value to provide on the topic. Like, to me, that's great. That's just amazing. Like, honestly, like this is real cool. Just be able to be in a position to be able to help somebody. You know what I'm saying? As humans, we're put on here to help other people. And like I said earlier in the video, especially people who want to help themselves. It's amazing when somebody has tools that they can lend somebody, and those people know what to do with those tools. That's such a beautiful thing as humans to do stuff like that. So I appreciate you for trusting me to be able to make this video on self-love. And I hope even the other people who didn't ask for this video, but you just stumbled across it, or maybe you subscribed, maybe you're my parents watching this video. Hopefully you didn't click off in the first couple minutes when I was demonized in school, but it is what it is. Anybody who's watching this video, I hope you got some value from it, man. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing my stuff with personal growth, with fitness and business, and I'm just here to document my journey, help you guys let you guys know what's going on in here and my processes and the way I think about certain things. And maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, but regardless, I hope you get some value from it. And I hope that whatever few minutes you spend with me, at the end of the video, you look back and you say that was time well spent. It wasn't time wasted. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate you, man. This is Randall Branch. We're getting this video up right now. And I'll see you on Monday for episode 9 of Road to Single Digits. Hope you guys have a blessed day.